Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of 10 Unedited Minutes with Marlena. It is Saturday, June 20th, and even though I said good morning, it is a little bit past noon. I feel like I'm running behind today because I chose to sleep in a little bit. But anyway, today's episode is brought to you by my dear friend, Rebecca Conklin-Kleibomer. And if you've been following along, you have already know that I am dedicating the next 60 episodes to Rebecca. She chose to sponsor my podcast, and she paid for 2 months worth of my sponsorship, which is $25 a month if you want to sponsor it, by the way. And that basically covers the subscription to my Buzzsprout, which is the platform that I use to push this out to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Prime Music, and then I also record it for YouTube. So today's episode, at the beginning of each episode with Rebecca, I'm going to share a memory that we had together. Rebecca and I have been friends for a very long time. She is a very dear, close friend of mine, and we have a lot of memories together. Some she remembers, some she doesn't, some she remembers, some I don't. But I was able to come up with enough memories to fill the next 60 days. So today's memory is once again back at the Courier. That's where Rebecca and I met. We both worked there. She worked in the newsroom. I worked in pre-press. And I've set this up in past episodes before, but the newsroom and the pre-press department, production department, if I ever slip up and call it production, are at the opposite ends of the building. So this time the memory happens on my side, back in production. It was... The minute I say this, Rebecca's going to know exactly what I'm going to tell you, and she's going to crack up. So I'm going to try to hold it together. It was Ash Wednesday, and for those of you that don't know what Ash Wednesday is, it is the first day of Lent, and then Lent is the lead-up period to Easter. So Ash Wednesday, Catholics go to Mass, and then at the end of Mass, we get ashes put on our forehead. And that is to signify that from dust you came, and to dust you shall return. And the Catholic faith is not the only faith that does this tradition. It is also done by the Lutheran faith. I'm sure it's done by a lot more, but I just know Rebecca is Lutheran. So this particular day, Rebecca was having a rough day, and the reason is because Findlay was flooding, right? We were having one of the biggest major flood events it was a 100-year flood event, right? If you don't know what that is, Google it. But anyway, Rebecca was the online editor for the Courier, and this is a big deal to her because as the town's flooding, as streets are closing, she has to get on that website and constantly update it. The Courier did a great job at keeping, the public aware of what streets were closing, what the city was doing, what was going on. So this particular day was very crazy busy for Rebecca, and she just could not get away from her desk. So she was over in production. You have to walk through production to get to one of the 2 restrooms in that building, and she was back in the restroom, and I happened to be back in the restroom, and we were washing our hands, and she's crying. And I said, Rebecca, what's wrong, my friend? And she says, I am so busy today. I have not had time to get to church. This is the first time in my life that I have not gone to Ash Wednesday service and gotten ashes. And she's just sobbing. And I didn't know what to do because I had ashes on my forehead already. So I just looked at her and I was like, it's okay, Rebecca. It'll be okay. Do you want some of my ashes? And she She's like full on tears, looks at me and just shakes her head yes. So we pressed our foreheads together and I gave her some of my ashes and then we just died laughing after that. I love that woman. I think of that every year on Ash Wednesday. And if you follow me on TikTok, you might have even heard this story on TikTok because this last year I kind of did a little funny TikTok with it. So that is today's memory of Rebecca. Cracks me up every time. I don't have much to talk about today because, like I said in the beginning, it is Saturday. I'm feeling rushed. I want to get on to my to-do list, which in my head is a really long list, but I'm sure some of it may or may not get done today. We have to prioritize. So what's on my to-do list today? I need to write some stuff for the icon, and I feel like I need to get that done today because I don't want the information to get lost in my head. So it's on the car show and the drone show that I attended last night. Every year, Bluffton has its annual Festival of Wheels, and this year, because of the America 250, they had sponsored I say the Lions Club, that's who puts on the drone show or the car show. So the Lions Club also did a patriotic drone show. And if you've never been to a drone show, you need to go. That was so cool, so impressive. I'm really glad I went. I'm really glad I watched it. And I covered it for the icon. So I need to write a little story on that and go through my photos and pick out some good ones. But it was really cool. And I've always been fascinated by drones. I'm just fascinated by their advancement in technology and what they can do for, for the agricultural community, for the safety services community. You can use drones in a lot of things. And I substitute taught this year at a career center. And one of the classes is actually teaching the students how to use drones. And I subbed for that class. And unfortunately, they could not play with the drones while I subbed because, apparently the teacher had to be there. And yeah, that could have been a disaster. Because I have no idea how to work a drone. But on days when I would sub for other teachers, you'd walk down the halls of this career center and there'd be students flying these drones around. And it's just so fascinating, so cool, watching them learn and myself kind of digging into the research and learning, some of the good things drones can be used for. Amazon, at one time, they're probably still trying to develop it, but they were studying how they could use drones to deliver packages. Think about that. Think about that. Drones are used by realtors. They're used in the movie industries. Whenever you see a shot of way up in the sky of like the ocean waves coming in, or the top of a building in New York City, that was probably shot with a drone. And a lot of realtors have them as well, so they can get an aerial shot of the property they're trying to sell. So just a lot of different things you can use drones for. That kind of took a little veer of where I thought I was going to talk about today, but I'm just fascinated by that. Anything that can improve our life and or level of safety and or health just fascinates me. So I do some deep dives into them every once in a while. But what else? I'm sorry, guys. What else am I doing today? I'd like to get out in my garden a little bit. There's a lady that lives down the road from me that sells plants, and I saw on Facebook that she has some tomato plants left, and I could use another 2 or 3 tomato plants. So I might go down there and snatch those up and plant them in my garden along with the other tomato plants that I planted. Some of the ones that I initially planted didn't make it, so I have some bare spots in my garden that I can fill. And she has some matured tomato plants that I can replant. So tonight we're going to my brother's house to celebrate Father's Day. And then tomorrow is the big Father's Day. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do for my husband that will make him feel special on this day, because I got a good one. I got a good one. My husband is the best dad to our daughters, the best grandpa to our granddaughter. Did I say my dad? Or did I say my husband? I don't remember. I might have to go back and listen to that. Whatever I said, my husband is the best dad to our daughters. The best granddad to our granddaughter. Maybe that, I don't know. Maybe I just need some coffee. I don't know, guys, but let's end it there, okay? That's enough. You guys enjoy your day. Have a great weekend. Tomorrow is Sunday, so I will take the day off from recording, but we will be back on Monday, God willing. And get outside today. It's beautiful out. The sun is shining. And love on your dad a little bit this weekend, okay? I love you. Pray for me. I definitely will pray for you. And we'll see you Monday. Bye.